I'm a recovered heroin addict, 17 years active addiction. I recently celebrated 25 months of sobriety.
Nice, dude.
No pharmaceuticals. I mean, from the world that I came from, I've held my brother's brains in my hands. He shot himself playing Russian roulette. We live close to the border, so I'm from Mexico. Seen a lot of drug cartel violence, survived it. I was blessed, never ended up in prison.
Some guy from Mexico, heroin addict, all these problems, violence, drugs. You're not supposed to be here.
Right.
If you came up and you just led with, I want to show people that no matter where they come from, they can be successful. It's when it's hard that it becomes an inspiration. People look at this and say, well, you don't understand what I'm going through. I don't even have a house. I'm sleeping in my car, man. Or I'm sleeping on the streets. You could relate to that.
Yeah.
So the person sleeping on the streets,
Yeah.
rolled up in some old blankets, watching a motivational video. It's wild,
Yeah.
but you're still making the time. And the belief and the worthiness that you're not gonna be here in these streets next year. I'll get inspired by your story and wanna push hard and go do something else. Right? So people watching you go through it, instead of you always the know-it-all, having all the answers, show me your story and how you're still trying to figure it out. Because it's when you don't know what you're gonna do next, but you still have the courage to get up and go do it and figure out a plan, that's inspiring.
My main message is I want to spread awareness on mental health and drug addiction. I'm a recovered heroin addict, 17 years active addiction. I recently celebrated 25 months of sobriety.
Nice, dude.
No pharmaceuticals. I do it all natural. And I want to break the stigma of plant medicine.
Okay.
Because that's basically why I'm here. I'm alive because of it. You know, I use cannabis for my PTSD, bipolar, and my addictions. And for me, what I've learned, it puts me in a homeostasis state. I've learned all about. I've taken my healing all the way from, like I said, metaphysics, psychology, exercise, neuroplasticity. I mean, I went everywhere, even art. And so now I'm trying to simplify it and try to get it out for everybody to benefit from it, actually, you know. And it's just like overcoming a lot of trauma, man. I've suffered trauma before I was born, as my mom was, she suffered a lot of domestic violence. So what I know and what I'm learning about, like bipolar and all that, it's a physiological release of fear. That's what really holds us all back. It's energy, it's fear, anger, all this borders and walls that separate everybody. It's just causing fear. That's all it is. Anxiety, all that. That's the number one cause of prescription abuse now. It's anxiety. Everybody's getting prescribed anxiety. And I found a way. And I think I don't think I know it will benefit a lot of people. But the thing is I gotta break stigmas, and that's hard. That's the tough part, like big time. I literally rebooted my brain with mushrooms, magic mushrooms, man. San Pedro, and I mean, from the world that I came from, I've held my brother's brains in my hands. He shot himself playing Russian roulette. We live close to the border, so I'm from Mexico. Seen a lot of drug cartel violence, survived it. I was blessed, never ended up in prison. Lost custody of my kids. But yet I still want to live. And to me, if I'm gonna live, I'm gonna live to the best, highest potential that I can. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I found it through art, expression, healing, helping everybody else out. Because all my excuses are so valid that if I focus on that, I'm done. I'm done, literally. You know, my 4-year-old son calls me uncle. That hurts. He knows who I am, but what do? Do I keep confusing him? Or do I use that and develop compassion and understand? Because what I learned about neuroplasticity, the mirror neuron effect, the best place my kids had to be was away from me, because I wasn't healing. I was on a rampage, man, literally. And I was blessed to survive. And it's powerful, man. It's, in a sense, I found God, universe, spirit, whatever. The signs brought me here. How did I get here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, dude. 25 months ago, I had a damn needle in my arm. Literally. What got me to even go to rehab, I had to see my son grabbing pins and pretending he was shooting up.
Wow.
And that was it. That was my rock bottom. It's like, I can't. And I still relapsed after that. I got kicked out of rehab. You know, I only been to rehab twice. But like I said, I didn't have a conducive environment for healing. And that's where I found YouTube. I found your channel. I didn't have no belief. Those concepts, not even believe what? You know what I mean? Violence, drugs, that's all I know. Mm-hmm. So of course I believe that. Oh, this other side, well, that's scary for me. This is scary. Being worthy, all that. For me, that's scary, literally.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to be in an alley with a gun and be okay with that. Like I said, literally, I wanted to give up last night and not even come here. But I had to, you know what I mean? It's either that or go back to all those visions that keep trying to haunt me, and it's not gonna happen. You know, I've lost 50 pounds in the process. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm 41 years old. I found art. I think I presented like 3 art pieces in 3 different galleries in Tucson. So it's going, you know what I mean? And I just get real emotional.
It's great.
it's you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's I want to break that stigma too. As men, you know what I mean? That's why there's so much violence and all that. We're scared to say we're scared. Literally. It's especially in our culture too, in the Mexican culture or whatever. You know, it's frowned upon to speak about your feelings or you can't. You know, I don't know. At least that's the way I was raised. Mm. And like I said, I've lost it all, but at the same time, what I've learned about your heart and everything, in a sense, you got to lose your mind to find your heart. You know what I mean? And that's when you start trusting and letting go. And like I said, it brought me here. Mm. I mean, that's a trip. It really is. You know what I mean?
How can I help? What do you got?
Just literally for me, I just need to be around this environment. You know what I mean? And I know the more that I keep putting out, the more situations like this they're gonna keep happening. And just, I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm just grateful for your time right now. That's it. And this platform that we got, you know, it's up to us to spread whatever we want. And that's a glorious moment in time, really it is, you know. Like Gary Vee says, 42 trillion to 1. And you can learn anything. I mean, I got myself off heroin and, you know, I'm in best shape in my life, and you tell me you can't do a little bit more for yourself or whatever, you know, man. Anybody can. And that's what I want to spread, you know. Man, if I can do it, God, it's literally. I mean, yeah. I was trapped in this vicious cycle. Literally, with trauma and everything, your trauma is stored in your cells, so you literally get addicted to negative emotions without even knowing it. So you constantly create chaos in your life. If that's all you know, then subconsciously you're gonna create chaos by not doing the work, by not trying harder or just going by default to what you were raised for. If all you saw was drugs and violence, well, that's easy because that's all I know. You know, it's so.
Have you seen the video with Warren Buffett and Jay Z?
No, I have not.
I think you'd like it. Mm-hmm. We have it in clips, but there's an entire video where Warren Buffett and Jay Z, different worlds, right? They're being interviewed by the guy who runs Forbes magazine. Okay. So Warren Buffett and Forbes, same world. Mm-hmm. Jay Z, different world.
Right.
So first off, Warren Buffett and Jay Z are friends. So how did Jay Z get there? And the question that then gets asked to Jay Z is, Jay Z, you come from a different world. You come from the streets. That's where you're comfortable. That's what you've known your whole life. But now you're sitting with executives and billionaires, businessmen who all went to these fancy colleges and universities.
Right.
How does that make you feel? Like, do you feel like you're left out? And he said, I'm just me everywhere I go. I'm just Jay Z everywhere I go.
Right.
And these guys went to fancy schools, and I went to the school of life.
Right.
And so it's worthy.
Right.
Right? He
Yeah,
feels worthy to be there.
Right.
How is this guy from the streets in the same room with Warren Buffett?
Right.
It's easy for him to have that mentality of this is where I came from, so I can't be in a different room.
Right.
But that mindset shift of I'm going to be me everywhere I go, and I'm worthy.
Right. And that's exactly what I found through art and through expression. You know what I mean? At first, I was trying to be too perfect, mimicking everybody on TV, on every motivational speaker or whatever. Trying to follow their rules, and then I got to come back like, wait a second, this is me. I got to be me, whoever that is. You know what I mean? And that's a process you create. You get to choose. That's what we got, free will. There isn't no right or wrong. That's your perception. And of course, we got cause and effect. But once you learn all that, then you could really navigate your world, man, and create it.
Well, what I love about your story is you're trying to pull up into a world that society would say you don't deserve to be a part of.
Right.
Some guy from Mexico, heroin addict, all these problems, violence, drugs. You're not supposed to be here.
Right.
You're not supposed to be here.
And I'm not supposed to have this knowledge either.
That's the stigma that you're trying to break, right? Like,
exactly.
You're not supposed to be here, and yet you're here.
Right.
And you want to keep pulling up.
Right.
You want to keep doing more. Mm-hmm. I think it's amazing. I think it's a great story.
Right.
And I think if people hear and know the story, they'll want to support you and help you and bring you along.
Right. It's been a truly miraculous healing journey for me. It really has. And I want to get into marketing. This my friend actually started this Worthy project in Tucson. She's an activist. She went to Standing Rock. She actually she had to turn herself in because she got charged for something for protesting out there or whatever. She's Native. But she started this Worthy project, and it's trying to teach youth in Tucson to find their self-worth. And it's been amazing. I haven't looked back. First, I needed belief. I ran into it really.
Yeah.
And then believe in your worthiness. That's how the science came to me, and that's the way I perceive it. So I'm just running with it. And in the process, I'm losing fear. And I really am helping people. It's everywhere I go, I seem to be inspiring people. So it keeps reaffirming of what I gotta do. I see it, and now it's just losing that fear.
If you came up and you just led with, I want to show people that no matter where they come from, they can be successful. And I'm a guy who came from the streets and violence and 17 years drug addiction, and I'm 25 months sober, and I shouldn't be here. Nobody who looks like me with my story is coming to your events and improving themselves and working on self-development. But I want to show people that they can pull themselves up.
Right.
I want to be that inspiration for people. It's having the outreach, so stuff like this, IG Live. You should be doing an IG Live every day with somebody. Right. Follow 500 people who you have a story to tell around.
Right.
And then every time they go live, you get notified, and you always request to join in, and you always say your 3 lines. And you won't get picked every time.
Oh, of course
That's
not.
just what happens.
And
but they may not even see it. They just have so many.
Right.
It's okay, but you will get picked up by some, and it's another chance to tell a story.
And that's exactly what I learned about overcoming addiction. It's all a process. It takes time. You just gotta keep going and have that faith. And the more you do that, the more it happens, and the more you develop that self-confidence, the more faith comes.
So then that gets you some exposure, and then exposure for what? They're going to come to your Instagram and see what? So you have to post content there as well to follow your journey.
Right.
So 1 minute, quick videos. Like, I think that's where you should live right now, is just Instagram. Forget about YouTube and the other platforms.
Yeah, and that's what I've been concentrating. I've only did 2 YouTube videos, but like I said, I need more stability right now. My housing's not all that yet, but
great. But take me on that journey.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a house right now. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't have stability. How does somebody with no stability still invest in personal development?
Right.
But I'm here in my car, and I'm gonna go watch a video, one of Evan's videos, because I wanna make sure that I'm reinforcing a positive message. Because that's where, when it's easy, it's not as inspiring. When you have your house, and it's even me, like, we've got this beautiful house here, right? It's easy for me to do it.
Right.
It's when it's hard that it becomes an inspiration. Right. People look at this and say, well, you don't understand what I'm going through. I don't even have a house. Right. I'm sleeping in my car, man. Or I'm sleeping on the streets. You could relate to that.
Yeah.
So the person sleeping on the streets,
Yeah.
rolled up in some old blankets, watching a motivational video. It's wild,
Yeah.
but you're still making the time. And the belief in the worthiness that you're not going to be here in these streets next year.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. And that's what I learned about overcoming my addiction. I mean, it's 25 months. It took about 3 years, 4 years to get 25
If you made a
months.
video every day on Instagram highlighting the journey, that would be inspiring.
Right.
Even if you relapse, like I just relapsed. I went into the whole program, and I was there and I was working and I relapsed.
Right.
And that's
Yeah,
real. That's real.
Right. And
What? So you just went in and it all fixed and now you're fine. Like
yeah, no, heck no.
that's
no.
not inspiring.
That ain't life.
Right?
Well, yeah, and
exactly.
It's not life.
But then show me life. Show me
Yeah.
life. Do a 1-minute video every day
Yeah.
with a message of what's happening in your life. So people will watch you on my channel or somebody else's, and then follow you on Instagram and see how you're doing.
Right.
And then they'll want to help. So hey guys, I'm starting this new Worthy hoodie company.
Right.
Right? Like I would have wore that last night if you brought me one.
Yeah.
I would've-
See, and that's what I need to. I need to start doing that.
I would have worn it, but I didn't even know. Like if I knew about the Worthy project, maybe I DM you before the event and say, hey Frank, if you have an extra hoodie, I'll wear one. I'll wear it
Right.
on stage.
And that's what I'm trying to do. Organize other people's, because this is somebody else started, but I want to blow
To say
it up.
all
to
of
them.
it. Like hey, I got this great opportunity. I'm here. Last night I wanted to go home because I didn't have a place to sleep. And so I decided, no, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to sleep in my car to be able to make it onto Evan's channel, even though I'm super scared.
Right.
Because this is the world that I want to get to. This is the world that I want to live in. Even though someone like me shouldn't be here. That's the stigma.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So how do I beat it? By doing it.
Right.
And that's your video. And you sit in the car and it's dark.
Oh yeah, I did one. I did one last night after I got to the rest area.
Yeah.
And I did one this morning, and saying that why I had fear of doing it, and and I was gonna make excuses of not doing it, but I made the video showing that I overcame that, and I'm still gonna do it. But that's
so then on the videos again, I would practice leading with what you're feeling, leading with your opinion instead of, hey guys, so here's an update for you. I've been thinking about this for a while. It's like, you're not saying anything. This is 20 seconds of intro that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So you gotta hit me with something from the start. So leading with an opinion.
Okay.
Leading with something emotional, right? I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I thought I'd be able to stay at my aunt's place. She's not picking up her phone. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I want to go home. I feel like I don't belong here.
All right.
But you know what? You see this word on my shirt?
I got you. Yeah.
It says worthy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sleep in my car tonight. And I'm going to go do this scary interview tomorrow on Evan's channel.
That's awesome right there.
Because I know that if I want to actually feel worthy, I have to do the things that make me feel worthy. Wish me luck, guys. Believe. Right? But that's not even me. Like, I'm just channeling you.
Right.
You could do that way better than me.
All right. I got you. Yeah.
But leading with that, going right into it, instead of preamble, intro, hey guys, it's Frank.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. So once an emotion is engaged, they can relate more.
Yeah.
Right. I got you. Yeah.
So even if you're feeling a low emotion, like that's a low emotion.
Yeah. Well,
you might
feel it. Yeah. Exactly.
You might come out of here feeling high, right? Like this was great. I did it. I was scared and I did it.
Right.
I'm sitting on these stools with 3 lights on me and camera and all this, and I did it. I feel amazing.
Right.
So that's a positive one.
Right.
And you still tie your worthiness, even if you don't say worthy, it's still, believe is in everything I do. This conversation is believe.
Right.
It just is. So worthiness will be a part of everything you do, whether you say the word worthy or not. Last night would have been a low, would have been a lower energy, but you can still bring me up at the end to say, I have to do this because there's this word on my shirt.
Right.
Even though you don't know what you're going to do when you're scared.
Right. And that's how all my videos are like. I think that's what I need to do now is plan them out a little bit more on some of them. All of them are just, like you said, idea comes and I just do it real quick.
That's good though. I think you should keep doing that. Just make sure that you're doing it every day. 1 minute every day. And then stories behind the scenes. So when you're feeling heightened emotion, you film.
Okay.
You're feeling happy, sad, frustrated, low, pumped up. You film.
Okay. Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's all gonna lead to the book. once everything
Even that,
settles
like
down.
I'm gonna write a book. Taking people on a journey. How are you gonna write a book? People will look at you and say, "You're gonna write a book? Like,
Right.
did you go to school, university?
Right.
You know, how's your English?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The stigmas. You're in the stigma fighting business.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what you do.
Yeah. So,
But telling that makes people cheer you on.
yeah. Well, and that's,
I don't read books.
Right.
I read 3 to 4 books a year. I get my learning from videos.
Right.
But knowing that you want to write a book makes me want to buy your book because of the story.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean-
and that's in sales. I mean, people buy it because of
The
their
story.
story.
But you start now. You start
Right,
now. Like,
right.
here I am. So how are you going to write your book? Like, do you have a laptop yet? Are you going to write a book? You gonna
Well,
write-
actually, yeah, that's a funny story because I was gonna go see you when you went to Palm Springs last year,
Okay.
but instead I bought my laptop.
Okay.
So I was like, no.
Great. So you got a laptop.
Yeah,
Amazing.
right.
And that decision, right?
Right.
Like, I really want to go see
I got a
Evan.
paragraph done.
He's
so, you know, it's
he's
live by-
inspired me, but instead I want to write my book too.
Yeah.
So I used that money to buy myself a laptop, and then where are you writing the book? Are you writing it out of a McDonald's somewhere?
Right.
You know, like just show me. It's
Oh
like-
no, it's gonna. My plan is to raise enough money. I'm probably gonna try to write. I'm gonna try to do some grant writing through my art, and see if I can get some grants, and if I can get enough money where I can go to Mexico for a year, and just to focus on my book. And I only need like 10 grand or something for the whole year, and I got land over there, and to fix up the house and build my studio and write my book. But that's where all this is coming into play. All this marketing, art, everything is gonna be so I can do that.
Have you said that on video?
No, but that's yeah.
I mean, you
got
just
I got
did.
you. Right. Yes,
You just did, right? There it is. But that's the journey, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
this is wild. Now I want to see you get to Mexico
Right.
and write your book
Right.
and fix up your house.
And that's what I mean about this moment in time. You know, I can do speaking. I can do motivational stuff or art stuff through my laptop. You know, everything's integrated.
1 minute videos taking me on the journey, right?
Yeah.
And you apply. So guys, I'm super excited to apply for this grant.
Mm-hmm.
This grant might change my life. This grant might be the one that gets me to Mexico because I want to write my book because I'm worthy, because I'm going to be the guy from Mexico, 17 years drug addiction, who then goes and
Break
writes
the
a
stigma.
bestseller book because I want to break the stigma, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
it
worthy
really
of this.
is.
Because I'm worth great. And then you apply for the grant and you get rejected. Guys, I got rejected from my grant. It didn't work out. If I had that, my whole dream would have been true. I would have had it.
Right.
That was $15,000. And they said no.
Right.
They said that my art wasn't worthy. But you know what? I believe in myself. So I'll find another grant. I'm going to keep going.
Awesome.
Right? Like
Oh,
that.
Yeah, definitely.
But then that inspires me to go like, not be a grant in art because that's not my thing. But
Right.
the whole story, like you have a dream, it's about to happen. Here it is, and then it just gets squashed.
Right.
What do? You bounce back up and you say, I'm going to go down this path.
Yeah.
That'll inspire anybody who has a dream that then wants to go chase it down.
Right.
Because for anybody who has ambitious goals, they'll have to break stigmas for them.
Right. Exactly.
So it's not a drug stigma or a Mexico stigma or any of the stigmas that you've had to break, but even for me to get to where I want to go, I want to be a famous introverted person. Like, it's a stigma. It
You want to say me?
doesn't happen, right?
Right.
So I'll get inspired by your story and want to push hard and go do something else. Right? So people watching you go through it, instead of you always the know-it-all, having all the answers, show me your story and how you're still trying to figure it out. Because it's when you don't know what you're gonna do next, but you still have the courage to get up and go do it and figure out a plan. That's inspiring,
Awesome.
right? 1 minute every day.
Awesome, brother.
Love it, man. I love it. Thank you. I'm cheering for you.
If you want to spend some one-on-one time with me, I have a special offer happening right now. Go check out the website right next to me. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.